Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we don't call them out-of-touch elites for nothing. It's crazy how they just don't get it. I stumbled upon this CNN clip where we've got Dana Bash in a panel, all looking in complete shock, oh the horror, as they're presented with the latest polling numbers showing 63% support for Trump's deportation policies.
63%, according to the latest Fox News poll, say that they favor deporting those immigrants. So that's a pretty high number.
And this comes after Trump's supposedly controversial use of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. This comes after the mass deportation roundups. It comes after the left's fake outrage over Florida deputizing municipal police departments to assist with ICE's efforts. You know, they've tried everything to manufacture outrage, probably in an effort to flip the numbers on the issue, to get people to turn on Donald Trump and to characterize him and what he's doing as cruel and mean, and of course in the end, bad policy. But none of it has worked, and look at the shock on their faces as they come to that realization. After months of claiming that Donald Trump's Hitler and ICE is basically his Gestapo, they're shocked to realize that still 63% of the American population, even after all the fake controversy, does not support illegal migration. And for some reason they can't wrap their head around it. They're so incredibly out of touch. And at one point you'd think, well, maybe they'll get it, maybe they'll stop, maybe they'll give up on this issue and just take the common sense approach, but nope, here we go again. All they're doing is pivoting to the latest strategy, the newest strategy. The left is switching gears and now engaging in explicit emotional propaganda. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, I'm seeing these segments pop up like crazy. It's obvious what's going on here. There's a deliberate effort in the media to present these character profiles of deported illegals, painting them as helpless victims of Trump's horrible cruelty. I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch of them, but here's the latest one that popped up on my timeline.
James Walkeen admits he and partner Lashar Smith overstayed their visas more than a decade ago when they came here from the Bahamas looking for a better life. They never imagined she would be arrested at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, they say by ICE agents.
She went through TSA. They was giving her a hard time with her ID, and they were saying that it wasn't scanning.
The Broward Sheriff's Office was called, he says. She was then taken into custody.
Immigration stepped in, and they determined that she has no criminal record, but because they determined that she's an overstay, they took her in.
An inmate of Baker County Jail. For account approval, press 1 to accept.
While we were there, Lashar called from jail.
I miss you too, princess. Oh, yeah, come home.
She says she was moved to a detention facility in Baker County, 5 hours away.
A lot of people that were birthed here, that works here, don't understand what immigration or immigrants have to go through.
But under law, if someone overstays their visa, they are here illegally and subject to deportation. The new administration has made that clear. Joaquin tells us they've tried to get their papers. It didn't happen soon enough.
A lot of red tape and confusion. It got to the point where I had to get my 24-year-old daughter to refile again for me. I've been here since I was 8, back and forth to the Bahamas. This country is all I know. I can't hate it.
Florida mother is deported. It's obvious what they're doing, right? Presenting this family, oh, the family's breaking up, it's so sad. But come on, can we cut through the crap already? She overstayed her visa likely for more than a decade. Just because you came here illegally and started a family doesn't mean that you get a free pass. Just because you flew under the radar for decades doesn't mean that you deserve citizenship. She knowingly subverted the process and now has to go home. That's how laws work. And the level of entitlement here is just insane. I mean, that one quote, you heard it, where the woman was implying what immigrants have to go through. You're not even an immigrant. You're an illegal migrant. You committed a criminal act. Oh, but now I have to jump through hoops in order to have legal status here. What are you talking about? Of course, those hoops are called the law, and you're never going to get legal status. Because guess what? When you overstay a visa, when you come into a country illegally, it basically bars you from ever being granted the privilege of doing it the right way. Because you've proven that you don't care about the law, that you have no respect for the law, and that you're pretty much open to scamming the system. And that's exactly what this is. Now I know it plays to people's emotion, oh, but the poor kid. Yeah, but that's the whole play here. Move into the country illegally, have a kid, birthright citizenship, try to set up family roots, and then hope that people are going to be too scared, too emotional, too naive to enforce the law. That's clearly the play, and it cannot be allowed to continue. It's wrong, plain and simple. And honestly, something should probably be done, because the idea that people are being rewarded for breaking the law It just seems so perverse and something that cannot be and should not be tolerated. I think there ought to be a serious question when it comes to birthright citizenship, especially when the parents are illegal migrants. Clearly it's become a racket. It's something that's being abused. And actually, I want to show you another headline here that's pushing the same sort of emotional nonsense. KTLA writes, California couple deported after living in the U.S. for 35 years. An Orange County couple that came to the United States without authorization some 35 years ago, without authorization, you mean illegally, raised 3 daughters and now have a new grandson, were deported to Colombia earlier this year, according to media reports. While the couple tried numerous legal avenues to remain in the country over the years, including appeals to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the Board of Immigration Appeals, a spokesperson for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement told the Orange County Register that the Gonzaleses had exhausted all legal options to remain in the U.S. between March of 2000 and August of 2021 and were ultimately in violation of immigration law. First of all, how did it take 21 years to come to that conclusion legally, and then an extra 4 years to deport them? That's beyond me. But the next portion here, their 3 daughters, Gabby, 23, Jessica, 33, and Stephanie, 27, who are all U.S. citizens, told KTLA that they were devastated when they learned that their parents had been detained on February 21st during a regular check-in with U.S. immigration officials. So they had 3 kids who now are all U.S. citizens. In other words, illegal migrants didn't face consequences for their subversion of American law. They benefited greatly, allowed to live in the nation for 35 years, benefiting from the American economy, and then all 3 of their kids got U.S. citizenship. No wonder there's an illegal immigration crisis. The incentives are clearly there. Come on in, drain public services, game the system for decades, and then exploit birthright citizenship, embedding yourself in a country that you have no legal right to be in. And then, of course, play victim when you're finally caught. It's a giant freaking scam. And obviously, it's a scam that the Democrats want to continue because guess what? All of these children of illegal migrants are all future Democrat voters. It's got to stop. Something has to be done because obviously it's a giant scam. People are taking advantage of this loophole, and no other country other than America is expected to accept this kind of mass lawlessness and abuse of the system. It's ridiculous. Could you imagine an American sneaking into China, living there for 30 years, working illegally, getting free healthcare, free schooling for their kids, collecting welfare checks? No, of course you couldn't imagine that because that would never happen. China would never let that happen. They'd be deported almost instantaneously. No sane country allows this, but for some reason, the United States is just expected to accept it. It's ridiculous. And I think Americans aren't falling for the media's sob stories anymore. They want the laws enforced, and clearly that's what the people support. America is a country, it's a sovereign nation, not a charity. It's not the world's charity. And a nation needs borders. Illegal entry, illegal crossing of the border is a crime, and crimes have consequences, regardless of how long you were able to get away with it, regardless of whether or not you were in the country for decades, or whether you established roots, which I'd argue are illegitimate roots. Breaking the law is breaking the law, manipulating the system, scamming the system is scamming the system, and no amount of fake outrage or emotional manipulation should change that. This propaganda will not work. Donald Trump is right, the people back him, and the crybabies in the media are simply going to have to deal with it. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.